Hi, we're Jordana and Grant from Shot in the Dark Travel. Come join us on our epic adventures around Southeast Asia. In this video, you'll see one of the most famous tourist attractions in Langkawi. Let's see if it lives up to the hype by joining us on our boat trip through the Kilim Geoforest. Morning everyone, so we finally got some decent weather, so we've decided to do a little trip and it's like loads of little things like throughout the day, isn't it? So
yeah, so we've travelled up to the north of the island and we're doing the Kilim Geoforest Park, sometimes called the UNESCO Geo something. They had loads of different names and we struggled to work out which one was the right one, and it turned out they're all the same and people just call them different things. But anyway, we're here, we're going to be going on a boat trip through the mangroves and hopefully seeing some good wildlife and stuff, and we are currently at the back cave and I'm just looking around nervously because there was a monkey that looked like it was looking at us and interested, but he's chilling now, so it's fine. So yes, we're going into the back cave, then finishing our boat trip, so yeah, we'll show you what we get up to. We're literally just going in the entrance. The first thing Jordana said was, God, it stinks of bat poo. Let's just get this over with. Maybe this isn't going to be the best bit of the tour. Do you want the torch?
Flash button, just give us a torch.
I think it's because the flashlight might startle them, whereas that just, dunno.
Why are we doing this?
Not sure. Did we go out and back in or all the way through?
All the way through.
Oh, okay. I'll be honest, I thought there was going to be more people or like a guide or something. I feel like I'm filming the Blair Witch Project. There's another setting for the torch. I don't know if that'll be brighter, by the way, if you press the button again and then open it up.
I don't really want to see them.
Okay, because I think it's worse that I can just hear them and not see them. I'd rather see them.
I'm going.
You're just running out. I haven't seen a single bat yet. Jordana's making a swift exit. Haven't seen zero bats. Ah, they're all bats. That would explain the noises. So I think I'm going to leave. I don't know if my torch was agitating them. They didn't look massively impressed, so we'll leave it at that. Jordana, did you enjoy that? What's the verdict?
I can see why people would want to see bats in in a cave, but I just don't want to. I just kind of, as soon as I could hear squeaking above my head, I was like, nah, I'm not down for this, and just kind of ran out in the dark with no torch. So that was interesting.
Yeah, I think looking back, maybe just not shining the torch in the right place wasn't helping, because all we could hear was just like the noises right above our head. We didn't have a clue where they were, if they were asleep, if they were flying around. We could just hear noises and see nothing at first.
And Grant was just like, oh, give me the torch. I was like, okay, you can shine it up there and look at them, but I'm okay. Got to go back in to get out.
Jordana was happy that she'd finished, and now we realise we have to go back through it to get back out.
Yay!
You might get to see some this time.
I want to.
One of the boats just pulled up, and on the boat they had a bag full of bananas. They obviously thought, oh, we'll feed all the little monkeys, we'll give one to you, one to you. Literally, monkey just jumps on the boat, grabs the entire bag and just runs off with it, starts eating them all.
People never learn, never ever.
Jordana must be in hell right now because every direction there's just monkeys everywhere in the trees just watching us. I think they've pretty quickly sussed we've got no food though, they don't look that interested.
Thank the Lord above. Let's try it down.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
God, they're all scrapping for a bag of crisps.
That's why he was trying, because as soon as the boat was going, he was
He's
like,
got away though. Look at him with his bag of crisps. This is absolutely mental. I've never seen this bit. I don't think I've ever seen it either, but look how many there are. I know. It's a little bit bumpy, now we're out to sea. So they've now brought us on the boat trip to a little beach, which is really nice. It's very small. We are pretty much now out at sea though, we're right on the coast. And the boat trip to get here got very choppy. So we were enjoying it at first, then all of a sudden, it was pretty horrendous. And the guy was going so fast, so we were like bouncing up and down on the boat. And at one point I was like, oh, can you, Jordan was like screaming a bit. So I was like, oh, can you go a little bit slower? And he's like, you want life jacket? And I was like, oh, no, can you just go a bit slower? And then he's like, oh, okay. And then I just saw him just full throttle again. He's like, I'm ignoring these guys, I don't care, I'm on a time limit. Just quite funny, just obviously didn't give a
we nearly died, and I'm not being dramatic. Like, that boat ride here was so lovely in like the calm water. Literally we get to the sea, oh my God. It was so rough. I genuinely thought the boat was gonna flip over. I like boat driver, obviously thought I was being melodramatic, but honestly, it was terrifying.
A bit of an Instagram versus reality moment here. After walking around the small beach, we soon realised that there was a lot of rubbish. This was really sad to see, and this was the first beach we've seen in Langkawi that wasn't clean. This was pretty disappointing, but this might be down to COVID. Hopefully now things have picked up, they can keep on top of keeping the beach clean.
So we're at the final stop on our tour. We're at the fish farm. View's really cool. Turns out the fish farm is mainly just a fish restaurant. So we had a look here, and the first one I asked about was the red snapper, 24 ringgit per 100 grams, and he said the typical fish is 700 grams, so it's a 170 ringgit just for a fish by itself, which seemed incredibly pricey. So we've gone for the set menu instead. Not massively sure I'd recommend this restaurant, to be honest. It looks all right. It is what it is, I guess. Views make up for it slightly.
So yeah, I don't know how we feel about this trip, but the actual like going around and looking at the mangroves and all the wild animals was really good, and it's a really beautiful place. With it being like a geo park, you'd expect it to be pretty ethical, but there's quite a lot of the stops you feel like I don't think this is ethical. When you like see the eagles, it's so amazing, but then you're like, oh, what are they grabbing in the water? And it's like, oh, chicken skin. And it's like, definitely shouldn't be doing that. And then when we see the fish here, they're all in very small enclosures and things. So I wouldn't recommend it. But if you want to come and see the scenery, I'd definitely do that. We did a 3-hour one. And you could do like the 2-hour one instead, and then you wouldn't go to the beach because there's a lot of rubbish on the beach.
Yeah, the only thing different about the 2-hour trip was it didn't go to the beach, and that was...
Thank you.
Yeah, you get dropped off and there's nothing really to do, so we probably would say the 2-hour trip would make a bit more sense.
Yeah, but our food's come, so we're going to have a see what the fish restaurant has to offer.
We were really pleasantly surprised when the food came out. The set menu was actually pretty good value for money. We got a lot of absolutely delicious food for only 100 ringgit each. It was probably the best food we had in our entire time in Langkawi, and maybe even the best bit of the entire boat trip.
As always guys, if you've liked this video, please like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.